Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Vickie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. We're going to take a look at this, the first of the eclipses that are going to be rolling out. We're going to have this is the new moon eclipse on July 12th. We'll have a full moon eclipse on the 27th. And then we're going to have another new moon eclipse August 11th. So we're going to have three. I believe this is a partial eclipse. But it's powerful. Pluto's majorly involved here. Again, it's occurring on July 12th at 10:48 p.m. in New York. Times will vary. I'm sure it's going to be at 13th in the overseas in Europe and so on. So adjusted towards time. Well, there's a lot to look at here. Here it is. Here's the Sun conjunct the Moon. So that's the new moon point at 20 degrees 41 minutes of the sign of Cancer. And it's opposing the Pluto 20 degrees. I mean, it's exact. It's exactly. The Sun will oppose Pluto at 6:01 a.m. Eastern. So 6 in the morning here in Eastern time, and then this is about 10:30, 11 at night that the eclipse happens. So it's in there. I mean, it's definitely in there. So it's gonna pack a powerful punch, man. It's like when I saw this chart and that Pluto, you know, because Pluto in Capricorn has been so much about these power struggles that we're going through, the patriarchy, you know, all this uproar over, you know, everything that's going on in the administration of women and children, for instance, you know, and the children at the border and all this. This is the opposite side of that, where Pluto or Capricorn can be like the Saturn, the strict parent. No, it's this, you know, I have the power, you do what I say. This is the nurture. This is the run to mama, run to mommy. That's what I'm seeing. This is the divine feminine energy. Cancer rules, well, it rules over food. It rules over but women and children, motherhood. That's its main vibe, its main focus. So it's squaring off with Pluto here in Capricorn, and it's got this power of the new moon eclipse on its side here. It could almost be like a Samson and Goliath, is what I'm picking up on. It looks like it is filling in this grand trine. It's kind of a wide orb, but it's in there. It's going to fill in the grand trine between Neptune and Jupiter, and then the Sun and Moon. So that's powerful too. It's bringing the power of its water sign sisters along with her. You know, she's like, "Hey, Pluto." We got the power here. We've got a different kind of power, an inward under power, a watery power, the power of the ocean. You know, water feeds earth, but the ocean will erode. You know, the power of the waves will erode the earth and the rocks. You know, a hard rock can become eroded, and also it can. It will make a jagged, hard rock. It will make it smooth, you know, over time. Water will. So that this immense water energy, but there's also a grand trine at Earth with Saturn, Uranus, and Venus over here. And there's some asteroids involved too. We've got Uranus with Juno. We've got Ceres with Venus here, but we've got this grand trine in Earth as well. But there's so much feminine energy going on there because Venus is involved. And then we've got the goddess energy of the Ceres and the goddess energy of the Juno. So here's what I'm feeling. It's not male energy against female energy. It's not, even though it's an opposition, because of the trines and the harmonious nature of everything that's going on here. To me, it seems like that they would be working in harmony with each other. That and earth and water are compatible anyway. Water does feed earth, you know. So it's And Uranus, there was all that friction. Well, Saturn's squaring Chiron still. We're going to talk about that for sure. But there was all that friction of the Pluto square Uranus. Well, Uranus has moved up here. And it's not trining Pluto yet, but it's trining Saturn. Where there's trines, there can be compromises. Where there's trines, there can be negotiations. We can work in harmony with one another. We can find a solution that's satisfying for all, you know. It's the Holy Trinity. It's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Maiden, Mother, Crone. You know, there's so many Holy Trinities, you know, there's just so many. The pyramids, you know, that three, that trine, that symbol is so magical and so, it's like a completion to me, you know. In many ways it can be a completion. So things could, if it's a new moon, but we could be on the road to coming to completions here, to striking bargains, striking deals, coming to understandings, having compromises, things of this nature. Mars is still on the south node. Venus has moved on from the north node, but we've got Pallas moving in here. So we've got these nodes are also getting activated by these external forces, by these energies. The Mars is retrograde. It's traveling with there. Mars retrograde is telling us, and with the south node here, these things are deep-seated. These things are deep-rooted. Mars is passion, but Mars is also anger, aggression. And so many things, it's in this flat wheel, it's in this 11th house of our friends and associates. And I think so many things that we are, you know, that we are up in arms about go so much deeper than whatever the you know, flavor of the day is, the story of the day is. It's these deep-rooted things that not only go deep into our own past, but with the South Node it goes into our past lives too. Yeah, Saturn's squaring Chiron too. I want to talk about this Chiron. As I'm doing this reading, for the rest of this week, you can still get that solstice reading if you want it, but I have gotten so much insight into Chiron through doing all these solstice readings, because the solstice was definitely activating that Chiron. It was squaring it. And the shift of the Chiron energy from the Piscean age into the Aries age. And here's another thing that I came up with about it, that came through about it. Pisces, in Chiron, because Chiron's always the suffering, the pain, the self-punishment, you know, what we need to learn, all these kind of things. The one that was in Pisces, because Pisces rules the 12th house, it's the past. It's our past lives, yeah, but it's our past. Chiron going through Pisces was very much about looking at the past, looking at the past, looking at the past. Now that it's in Aries, it's about being in the present. And like I said last time, it was about mulling over everything, discovery, and now taking action. Well, you can only take action in the present moment. And the Aries energy, the first house, is very much in the present moment. So it's about action, being in the present moment, coming out of the past, being in the present moment, not wallowing in regret about what was or what could have been or what we did or should have done. This is where we are now. We always have this eternal present moment and to act and be of action. It's squaring with Saturn, so Chiron's heavy karma on its own, but you factor in Saturn and it's really heavy karma, you know. Our victim story, you know, because Saturn is can be the oppressor and the man. Oh, it's all our blame story, our victim story. Another thing that came to me, this was so profound, I thought, as long as we're in victim mentality, a victim will always find a perpetrator. I'm going to say that again, let that sink in. A victim will always find a perpetrator. And vice versa. The perpetrator will find the victim. You know, and it's that non-duality thing coming in, you know, it's all mirroring, but it's so true. And it's beyond the, you know, it's the mirror, it's our vibratory level, you know. So, in the words of Michael Newton, victim no more. I remember I was going through a really tough time. Everybody was dying in my family. I was going through a horrible tough time, and Michael Newton's, I was listening to his tapes over and over again, you know. I was listening to a lot of tapes, you know. I would put tapes on and walk my dogs and just walk and listen to tapes for hours and hours, trying to get myself turned around, you know, and that stuck with me so strong. Victim no more, you know. Yeah, this happened, they died, this happened, this happened, this happened. Keep talking about your victim story. Well, you want to stay a victim, keep talking about it, you know. It's not going to help you at all, you know. In order to get out of the downside of Saturn and Chiron, which is, you know, oh, it's my karma, you know, oh, I was born into a horrible family, they treated me so bad, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me, that happened to me. It's everybody else's fault, and I'm a powerless victim and can't do, you know, because of my circumstances, that's why I am how I am, and it's all, you know, it just all happened to me. That's when Chiron was in Pisces. Things had happened to me. And it's, you know, happened and looking at the past. Taking charge of our own path in life, taking charge, creating our reality, creating our vibration, raising our vibration with this nice water energy, with the Jupiter and the Neptune. This is a great time to dream a new dream. Dream a better life for yourselves. Dream a new dream. Dream a little dream for me. I'm hearing that song. Maybe we'll look that up later. But that's what's, you know, you can transcend that. Not by getting in, I'll tell you, not by war and, you know, by, you know, the water's hitting the waves, the water, you know, smoothing things out, by changing your vibration. The water has, you know, those ions, negative ions or whatever, and it really does change things. It really does change your chemical makeup, and of course, you know, all the Dr. Emoto stuff, you know, with the crystal, the water crystals. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. I think I need a cough drop too. Still not quite over this dang summer throat cold thing, but much better. Yeah, so we can dream another dream now. Jupiter wants to bring us luck, wants to bring us blessings, wants to help us. If you are going in that back, look for the gift in it. I said this one a long time ago, but this came up to me again lately. I was raised, you know, with my family in the bar. And I'm really, you know, kind of an introvert. I like to be quiet and creative and stuff like that. But we always had these different things. There was always some kind of party going on, you know, or bowling banquets and picnics and different things. So I was always thrown into, and my mom would like really, she was a major Leo, and she would just really push me. And, you know, and I could look at it from, which there is those moments of having to walk up and down, go talk to people, you know, she was like push me out there. And it was almost like, you know, running the gauntlet and the cigarette breath and the whiskey breath, and I was, you know, I could go to that route. No, it was such a horrible experience, but it was absolutely a gift, you know. Because of that, I learned how to be sociable. I learned how to talk to people. It helped me in life when I was, you know, playing out and musician, to be on stage, you know, not be afraid to be around people, not be afraid to talk to people. I'm sure it helped me in doing readings, you know, striking up a conversation in the early days of working at the psychic fairs, you know, with a complete stranger and making them feel at ease, making them feel comfortable, striking up a conversation. So it was absolutely a blessing. Nothing comes with all, you know, what they're showing me, what I'm seeing is like, you know, you're walking the path, everybody's going to get a little dog shit on their shoes or something. That's what they're showing me. But they're showing me scraping it off your shoe with like a stick or something. So that attitude of, oh, it was so horrible, I had to run the gauntlet and the nasty cigarette whiskey breath. Hi, honey, hi. I can still hear their voices too. Their cigarette. Hi, honey, how you doing? It always reminded me of Beetlejuice, that lady, the caseworker with the no throat. That always reminded me of people at the bar when I was a kid, you know. And it was this, the energy of it was kind of like, kind of harsh, you know. But I learned to navigate it, you know. That's the shit I got to scrape off my shoe and take it for all the gifts it gave me. And the gifts it gave me, as far as that goes, is like, because water is alcohol, Neptune's alcohol too. But is it gave me as what a great observation, what a great microcosm, little my lab as I got older and I worked the bar and I was learning astrology. Wow. What a great, because the bartender season here is all, people know that. Don't think that you're having a private conversation and the bartender's not knowing what's going on. I mean, you see everything. You're always watching. You gotta always be watching. But boy, did I learn a lot about personality traits and how people interact in relationships and different astrology signs, how they get together, and how they, you know, oh, wow. It was funny because, you know, I wouldn't even, half the time I wouldn't know somebody's name, but I knew what sign they were right away. Or I'd be talking to my friends on the phone, telling them about my shift at the bar or some drama or whatever that happened at the bar when I was working there. And, you know, they'd be like, who are you talking about? Is that the Scorpio or is that the other, was that the Taurus? Oh, yeah, you know, it was that one. So I watched them and I observed them, and with my Scorpio rising nature, you know, I was observing and I was learning about astrology like mad, you know, because you have, in that kind of an environment, you have your regulars that come in all the time, pretty much, you know. It's not like in a big club where it's just massive people, you know, different crowd every night, depending on who's the band or whatever, you know. It was a lot of regulars, it was a lot of conversation, it was a lot of talking, it was a lot of interacting, it was a lot of drama, and I just sat there watching it all, you know, all unfold. But I learned so much. I learned, and Jupiter, natural ruler of the 9th house in Sagittarius too, also is a learning, you know, it's learning, you know. And so there were many gifts. I mean, I'll probably talk all day about that, but enough about that stuff. But apply that to your own life. Whatever victim story that you're telling yourself, you know, about how everything went wrong just because of that. It was, you know, blah, 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 this and that. Turn it around. Scrape that shit off your shoes, man. Take that stick and scrape that off your shoes. Because find that blessing. Every cloud has a silver lining, you know. That's that other old euphemism or adage or whatever that goes along with it. Yeah, so powerful new moon. It's the opposing the power of Pluto and Capricorn of the patriarchal energy, and then the divine feminine is really emerging. I mean, it does every year with the new moon in Cancer, but since it's an eclipse or a partial eclipse, it's giving it that little boost. And I think that Pluto can be like a charge to whatever it comes to. Pluto's not all bad, you know. Big bad Pluto. Oh, somebody's gonna die, or it's death, and always looking at that again, the shit on the shoe thing, right? Let's look at the positive part about it, you know. It adds, it ignites. What they're showing me is like a fuse getting lit, but not necessarily to light a keg of dynamite that's going to explode, but maybe it's, you know, beautiful fireworks in the skies, you know. But it gives an extra boost, and as does Jupiter. Let me just do a quick scan if anything major, because I always miss stuff on these things. Uranus trine Saturn, we talked about that. Jupiter square Mercury too. Well, let's see. Now I'm hearing that goofy song of After Skyrockets in Flight, Afternoon Delight, which has nothing to do with fireworks, I don't think. I don't know what we used to call afternoon delight. It meant something completely different. Anyways, sorry about that. I was looking at something. Oh, Mercury's doing something with Jupiter. Where's that Mercury at? Down here. Yeah, it definitely is. It's doing both. Well, here's what I feel about that. With these odd, it's a square, and with that inconjunct or whatever, that can be a misunderstanding. Mercury, things that are said were misconstrued, misunderstood. Now I'm hearing, oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. That other old song. Oh, the music guides are showing up now, baby. They're chiming in. But here's what I feel like. This is misconstrued, misunderstood. As this grand trine in water clicks right in, we could see, well, maybe I misunderstood that. You could have an understanding of it. The Jupiter in this grand trine, even though this is the eclipse point here, the Jupiter to me is what really stands out. It's just Jupiter is reigning over this in some way. Or maybe that's the direction we want to head, the way we want to go, the energy we want to utilize. But what was I talking about? Oh, it could be, you could have an understanding of it, or again, well, maybe that was kind of harsh when they said that to me, Mercury, but I needed to hear it. Look for that blessing. Maybe it was something I really needed to hear. Maybe it really made me wake up and see something that, water and Neptunian, that maybe I was kind of blinded to. Maybe I had the blinders on. And I needed that kind of cocky ass, that Mercury, that cocky, maybe it was a little harsh, but maybe now I can see that there was some truth in it. And maybe it really helped me. And maybe, or maybe somebody was really hard on you and you just said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm leaving. And then it opened up all this brand new path for you. It could be something like that. Yeah. So it's an eclipse. I don't have my site open. There it is. Yeah, be sure. I'm going to do a quick view of my website. This is it. If you're interested in any of those t-shirts, that's always under the art section. That takes you to the t-shirts. I've been throwing up a lot of new t-shirts lately. They're not all under the same brand. Like, this is like my general brand, but I have those astrology shirts all listed here. The astrology mandala shirts, which are pretty cool. I should have shown the Cancer one. Maybe I will. Here it is. This is the Cancer. They all have the mandala for the sign, and then it says, some keywords. Let's read the keywords. Sensitive, healer, empathic, sweet, loving, shy, sympathetic, moonchild, romantic, nurturing, the crab. Yeah, so that's the Cancerian one if you're interested in it. And there's a whole bunch of them. You can find all those links below and check out my website. You can find the readings. I'm still as of recording this, I'll be taking them down this weekend, the solstice readings. So you got to about the 7th or the 8th to order that. It's good it's a seasonal reading. It's not just for the day of the solstice, because the solstice and the cardinal ingresses really kick off the season, until the fall and so on. Or, if you're down under, you know what I'm talking about. So here it is. Powerful new moon eclipse, partial eclipse, but with the Pluto, the grand trines in water and earth. I'm hearing we could move mountains, and maybe that's so. But look for the blessing, I think, is the higher thing, and the emergence of the feminine, Male to male, bam to bam, fighting fire with fire isn't always the best approach. Getting in uproars about this stuff. There's got to be another approach, even if it's just raising your vibration, raising your energy, Prayer. Water falls under the sign of, prayer would fall under the water signs, I would say. Neptune for sure would be prayer. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks so much for liking and sharing and commenting and donating and purchasing my wares. I have adult coloring books, all sorts of stuff available on my website. While you're helping me with that, it makes me continue to do the free readings all the time on YouTube, which I do love doing. I love reading your comments. Remember your love and beauty incarnate. Have a great new moon eclipse in the sign of Cancer, and I'll speak to you soon.